My name is Jack Rutherford. I currently work for CrestCon Labs. My job is a principal security consultant. So I run the offensive team at CrestCon Labs. This encompasses penetration testing services and also includes things like red teaming and purple teaming. Anything on the offensive side of things, basically. So as a principal security consultant, it's a split between technical work and management work. I lead the offensive team. So this means organising the team below me to be on the right work, to be doing what they love, what they enjoy, and to be doing what they're most effective at. And it also involves performing the technical work myself. So a lot of the time these days that's red teaming, which can be physical based or it can be, technical phishing, all managements of that. But it also encompasses a lot of client management. So as per the Corey framework, which we're talking a lot about today, as a red team lead, it means that we do a lot of client management from that side. It means that we communicate with the client frequently, always making sure they're informed about what's happening. And then finally, it includes the reporting component to make sure that the client has the right information and that it's presented in the right way and that we can give them the best value from the engagements. So the best part of my day would be seeing my team succeed. I love enabling them to be able to achieve the goals that they set for themselves. And this can be compromising a machine. This can be obtaining domain administrator on an internal network. Or this can simply be completing a tool that they've been working on or giving back to the security community. So I see my role as making sure they have the right tools and the right time, the right support to be able to achieve these things. The worst part of my day? Look, I work in a great job that I love. I don't know if there's a worst part, but there are hard parts. So perhaps the hardest part of my day might be sometimes trying to provide the most value to clients when they don't know what they need. So a lot of the time in security, it might be a very unknown field to some of the clients we have. And as a result, sometimes we need to explain the best directions that they might need to go into, and it might sometimes conflict with their own ideas. So making sure that they're getting the most value from these engagements can be tough, but it's definitely something we work through. I came out of university and was working for the government, basically. And I was fortunate enough to have a role where I got to try a lot of different IT jobs, and I happened to try a job in security at the Department of Defence. And straight away I loved it, not only because of the work you get to do and the coolness factor about being able to work on the forefront of cybersecurity with all the new technology and best people, but also because of how passionate people are in the industry, I think. Everyone or most people that I've met in the industry really love what they do. It's great to be able to work in a role where you really enjoy what you do on a day-to-day basis so much that you end up doing it outside the normal workday. You're doing it in your own hours just for fun, right? As much as it is a profession, it is a hobby that I think we all enjoy. So things like CrestCon are great, right? Conferences, some of the best places to keep up to date with these things because it's at conferences where the latest tools, techniques and tactics are really released. Now, if you can't attend these things in person, obviously it's a bit hard these days. A lot of these resources are available online. A lot of the time you can watch the talks after the fact. Perhaps they might be put on YouTube or perhaps the presentation slides might be released. Also, Twitter is a great place, right? It's where a lot of the most recent cyber news is kind of released. Before it becomes a full news article, a lot of the time on Twitter, the author will release this information and it's kind of the first point of contact. But otherwise, security is very community focused. So there's a lot of Slack channels, like Sec Talks, that you can really talk to other professionals in the industry, and a lot of the time you find out information first through those communities. So really just building those relationships I think is important so that you can get that information quickly and so that you can learn. When you're entering the industry, it's important to become part of the community and to build those relationships, to network with the people that are already in the industry, and opportunities will present themselves. Also, there's lots of free resources available for people looking to get into the industry. So there's courses you can do online, Pentester Labs, Burp Suite, a popular web tool, provides a whole academy of training, a lot of free resources there and paid resources too, things like Hack the Box. These all provide ways for people to learn. about cybersecurity and how to get into particularly the offensive side of cybersecurity. But otherwise, building those networks and really getting to know the people in the industry is important too. I think my role models for cybersecurity have been very personal to me, people that I knew personally and that I met early on in my career. But if we're talking about people who are more in the spotlight, right, there are a few that come to mind. You know, Bruce Schneier is a popular figure in the industry who is at the forefront of a lot of these things. Silvio Cesare, who runs a conference himself, is doing some great work these days in putting events together to make sure that everyone can learn, right, and to present new things in the cybersecurity industry. Outside that, I mean, there's so many potential figures within the Twitter sphere and online who are constantly reporting and helping contribute to the cyber industry, I think.